Here's what's on today's show, folks. We're going to talk about why Michigan and Texas changed their upcoming out-of-conference matchups. Then, the 2023 spring football schedule is set. We'll tell you when Michigan's going to get back on the field. And then, is a legendary name headed back to Michigan to maybe join Jim Harbaugh's staff? We're going to dive into all those stories here on a Friday. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. We are presented by Manscaped. They just launched a new beard trimmer. You got to check it out. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code GOBLUE for 20% off and free shipping. We are the Michigan Football Report, folks. I am your host, James Yoder. Got a lot to talk about. Some stuff broke overnight. Hope you enjoyed. We put out a YouTube short or two this week. I'm not sure if that's a format that everybody's really used to, but it's something that YouTube is putting a lot of effort into, and they're telling channels like ours that, hey, you want to get on board with the future of video, get on board with YouTube Shorts. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the shorts we put out. I'll probably have one or two more this weekend coming up. All right, on the show on Wednesday, the live show, had a super chat come in from Rock City. Rock City is part of our Hard Hat Club. Is going to be on the show credits video that we've got at the end of one video per week coming up probably next week. He asked me about quarterback recruiting. We are going to delay that. I said to have some on Forum Friday, waiting for a couple things to happen over this weekend. So, let everybody know, Monday we will have a major recruiting video, so you won't want to miss that. Of course, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it. We'll try to put out a video around Monday, mid to late afternoon, once we kind of have some news coming out of the weekend. All right, some stories to just talk about off the top, at least one here. Amarion Walker. It's been a big topic of conversation over the past week or so. Was part of Will Johnson's big video, 6.1 three-cone drill, etc. Word is he is going to change to the jersey number 1, was wearing number 4 exclusively as a wide receiver in 2022. Now he's going to change to number 1, but it's not because it's the wide receiver number 1, Andrew Anthony was last year. He's apparently, like we've alluded to, going to switch over to defense this spring, trying to make a run at that starting cornerback position opposite of Will Johnson. So bringing that news to you guys here on a Friday afternoon. All right, the news last night, you saw the YouTube shorts that we put out. Michigan, Texas, this rivalry, it's really only for that rivalry, this game that's only been played between these two teams one time in history after the 2004 season. Michigan, Texas in the Rose Bowl. Vince Young comeback. Braylon Edwards, an amazing game. Just an all-time game in general. They're switching it up, all right? Michigan will play at Texas now in 2027 instead of 2024. That 2024 game will be in the Big House. So we're going to kind of speculate and tell you, not speculate, we're going to kind of give inside this this switch and tell you why it happened coming up in a second. And I'm going to talk more about future Michigan out-of-conference schedules. But, guys, with that game happening next season, right, less than 2 years from now, really about 18 months or so, September of 2024, Texas will be in the Big House. If you'd like to beat Texas, maybe get another shot at beating Quinn Ewers if he doesn't go pro after this season. He was on that 2021 Ohio State team. He can make a second trip to Ann Arbor and get the loss with Texas in 2024. Give us a like on today's video. We're going to make sure that this video gets in the YouTube feeds of all Michigan football fans, and you hitting that like button certainly helps us do it. Why was the game location changed? I want to give you guys a little insight because it didn't really make a lot of sense to people. It's like, well, what does Michigan have to do with Texas moving to the SEC or Michigan going into an expanded Big Ten? So Fox Sports has the Big 12 TV contract, the current one, that ends after the 2024 season. So if Texas and Oklahoma wanted to leave after the 2023 season and be in the SEC in 24, they have to pay up, right? They're going to pay $50 million plus to other Big 12 schools, the existing ones, and put some money towards Fox on missed games in the 2024 season. All right, cool. But what does that have to do with Michigan? Why is this not a conference game? Well, since Michigan's TV deal, or the Big Ten's TV deal, is with Fox, NBC, and CBS going forward, Fox has, they wouldn't have a right to this game at all if it was played in Austin in 2024. ESPN has basically exclusive rights to all SEC games starting in 2024. So to get Fox to let Texas and Oklahoma leave at all, even if they're paying $50 million each, Texas and Oklahoma are, Fox basically said, well, look, we want that game sooner than later. We don't want it to go down, wait 4 years to get that Texas-Michigan game on our TV networks, and that is why the game was switched. That's why Michigan kind of swooped up in this Texas-Oklahoma SEC move. So this landscape of college football, it's going to be crazy. 2024, guys. Texas, Oklahoma, now in the SEC for sure. USC, UCLA in the Big Ten. I don't know what becomes of the Big 12. I'm not sure what becomes of the Pac-12 going forward. You have 2 super conferences, and the college football playoffs switching to 12 teams all 1 year from now. So it's going to be a wild turn of events. But I do think this switch up makes a little more sense for Michigan because now they basically have a marquee game the program does at home for the next 5 seasons. If not for this, the 2024 schedule will be kind of weird. You're going on the road to Texas, going on the road to Ohio State. 2027 will be the same thing where you'd have Texas at home, Ohio State at home. So this balances it out, basically gives Michigan 1 scheduled marquee game at home, at least over the next 5 years. Folks, we're going to talk more about Michigan's future out-of-conference opponents and even speculate on outside of these teams where Michigan could schedule in the future if they decide to go with marquee games. I'm hearing something in my ear. Breaking news. We got some breaking news here in the show. Manscaped is now selling beard products, folks. That's right. Our friends at Manscaped have gone from Balls Mafia to Beard Mafia in 2023 to keep you well groomed from head to toe with their new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. In this package, it all starts with the Beard Hedger. The cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel with 20 hair cutting links, all with 1 guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. Sculpt your beard to a championship level this season with Manscaped and tame your mane by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with Go Blue. I've been trusting Manscaped for years. I got Manscaped products all over my bathroom. I've got the shampoo, the conditioner. I've got the Manscaped deodorant. I've got Manscaped lip balm. I trim up down below. And now, I keep a little beard on the side here. I am trimming up with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. Link is down in the comments and the description of today's video. Go to manscaped.com and make sure you guys are using that promo code GOBLUE, 20% off and free shipping. Get the Beard Hedger today. Let's take a look at future non-conference schedules. So 2023 is kind of going to be another patsy year. Nothing really to speculate on too much. Michigan will probably be made fun of by other teams in the Big Ten around the country for the 23 out-of-conference schedule. 2024 gets a little more fun, a little more interesting. You'll have Fresno State coming August 31st. Then a week later, Texas, followed by Arkansas State. That's your out-of-conference schedule in 2024. One more year to 2025. Boom, Oklahoma. So Michigan's New Mexico at home. Second week, they're going to go on the road to Oklahoma and then come back home and get Central Michigan. So that's the next coming 2 years. Now let's take a look at future out-of-conference games that are on the schedule past 2025. Now Michigan's going to play Oklahoma in back-to-back years, 25 in Oklahoma, 26. Oklahoma will come to Michigan on September 12th. The year after that, at Texas, September 11th. At Washington in 2028. That is the makeup from the 2020 COVID season that was canceled when the Big Ten didn't play any out-of-conference games. They rescheduled it 8 years later, so that's now 5 years from now. And then wild, 2033, 2034, at Notre Dame in 33. Versus Notre Dame at home in 33, at Notre Dame in 34. Jack, do you know what the significance of that 2034 game is for Michigan at Notre Dame? It's actually my son, who is 6 years old, his senior year in high school. He'll graduate in spring of 35, so fall of 34, start of his senior year in high school, which is kind of wild to think about. He was not even 3 years old when Michigan played Notre Dame last in October of 2019. And 14 years later in 33, he'll be a junior in high school. And then 34, this long-awaited kind of renewal of that rivalry will come up with Notre Dame. Now, thinking about what Michigan has on the table, you've got Texas, you've got Oklahoma, you've got Washington, and then Notre Dame and a bunch of kind of lower-level schools in between there on the schedule. I want to ask you guys, who would you prefer out of these 4 teams? I kind of thought who Michigan hasn't played in a long time or even ever in a lot of cases, or where I'd like to travel on a home for home. So these are the 4 I identified: LSU, Clemson, Texas A&M, and Florida State. Michigan played Florida State out of conference in the 90s. Actually, they didn't even do a home and home. It was a home and home for Michigan. Florida State came up to Ann Arbor a couple different times. It was like 88 and 91 or something like that. But let me know L, C, T, or F out of these schools. I'm going to say LSU because I just think it would be a really cool environment to travel there and have them, of course, travel to the Big House. All right, we just talked about the Michigan-Texas switch up, a little out-of-conference speculation. Now we're going to dive into some of the spring football, spring practice news and rumors that are out there. So Michigan is right now, as we told you a couple weeks ago, 2 Mondays ago, spring conditioning got started. So these guys are in the weight room. They're doing their workouts. These workout videos are going viral. Amarion Walker and other. Spring practice, though, does start in about 10 days from now. Not about 10 days, 10 days exactly. February 10th today, February 20th, 10 days from now, Monday. Funny enough, Jack, day after my birthday. No presents, Jack. I know you're probably going to buy me something nice, but no presents allowed. 15 practice between February 20th and April 1st. So right around 6 weeks, Michigan will fit those 6 practices in. So 15 practices in. So about 2 or 3 per week. But clearly, this is a 6-week stretch that they'll have formal practices. But in general, what will happen is they'll have 2 or 3, and then they'll kind of be like working together, this team, on what they do in between those practices. Now, it'll all conclude on April 1st at the Big House. It's free as always. So the 2023 spring practice set for Michigan. Again, I don't think that there is much Michigan has to change or work out or prove, or many positions that are uncertain. I think that cornerback 2 position, Amarion Walker is going to make a run for himself, is really the only area that I think Michigan has a position of concern at this point going into this upcoming season. But as always, you'll have plenty of players in the spring and then into the fall that will break out and have big-time seasons that weren't really stars the year before. So I'll ask you guys to chime in the comments below. Who will be the breakout star for this 2023 Michigan football team? He was a starter for some of the time last year. I'm going to say Mason Graham. I think Mason Graham is going to have a hell of a year on the interior of the defensive line. Derek Moore potentially. How about Josiah Stewart come over from Coastal Carolina? Those are just 3 on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know on defense. I'm sorry, the defensive side of the ball. On offense, we will see. Love to see what the offensive philosophy looks like with J.J. McCarthy coming back for a second year as starter. All right, this hit the Twitter sphere on Friday afternoon. Schembechler, a.k.a. Glenn Schembechler, Bo's son, former guest on the show about 3-4 years ago. I checked him out on Twitter today. Wasn't following me. I think he was at one point. So what was it part of the job? You can't follow Yoder on Twitter, Shemmy, to get this job if these rumors are true, which I'm not sure yet. If they are, just want to let you guys know what kind of whispers are out there, that he will be joining the Harbaugh staff in a non-coaching role, either scouting, recruiting, NIL. We'll kind of see how it shakes out. Going to let you know what is being said and who and where the Schembechler could end up on Harbaugh staff in a moment. But reminder, more videos on this channel is allowed, are done if we get more subscribers. The offseason is a tough time to add subscribers for a college football channel because there's not always a ton of storylines that bring in new fans. So if you're watching the show for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any content. And if you're watching before and you're back, clearly we're doing something right. So hit that subscribe button. YouTube.com/Michigan TV. You can always come back, but if you hit subscribe, YouTube will serve up our videos for you pretty much every time you come back. So Schembechler tweeted this out 4 days ago. As of today, my time with the Raiders has come to an end. It was a great experience to work with some of the best people in the business. I look forward to what comes next. God bless. All right, cool. So that's 4 days ago. So the speculation has started. Let me tell you where he's been. So lives in Columbus. So worked for the Raiders, but doesn't actually live out in Vegas, doesn't live out in Oklahoma. College scout the last 4 years for the Raiders. Prior to that, he's running his own scouting service out of Columbus for about 5-6 years, which I think he's still running as an aside, but maybe just on the staff, taking a paycheck from the Raiders. Before started his own service, was with the Seahawks for a couple of seasons, was with the Washington Redskins, now Washington Commanders for over a decade, and got his going to break into the business with the Chicago Bears 98 to 2000 as a scout. Prior to that, as a scouting intern in the mid-90s with the Kansas City Chiefs. So Schembechler, could he be working in the building that is named for his father, Schembechler Hall, with a big Bo Schembechler statue outside of the stadium? His father died 16 years and 2 months or so ago. But nevertheless, Schembechler grew up in and around Jim Harbaugh. If I recall, Shemmy telling us when he was a guest in our show a few years back that Jim and John Harbaugh used to babysit for him when he was a kid. So this relationship has gone back 45, 50 years or so. at this point. And with Schembechler not with the Raiders anymore, makes perfect opportunity as he's kind of coming up, in the back half of his career to go back to the school that made his dad famous, that has a building and a statue for his dad, Bo Schembechler, maybe the greatest football coach in Michigan football history. Didn't get the national championship, but you guys all know what Bo Schembechler brought in his 21 seasons to Michigan. Where could he fit? He's not going to be an on-field coaching. Clearly, that's not his background, but scouting, recruiting, name, image, likeness, maybe even scouting with the transfer portal. He'll just look at other schools all year, see who could potentially come over and make a difference to this Michigan football program. All right, you made it to the end of the video. Congrats to you. Congrats to me for keeping your attention, I guess. So if you do, let me know. Go down in the comments and type Go Blue. I want to see how many of you guys made it to the end of today's video. We will have more content on Saturday and on Sunday, and we'll be back with a big recruiting video on Monday. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. So I see you guys next. Go Blue.